Merhaba Gamer Ömer takipçileri. Yeni bir Alan Wake bölümüyle karşınızdayım. Bundan önceki yorumlarda Kemal arkadaşımızın bana yardımları sayesinde ses problemini çözdüm. Teşekkür ediyorum yorumlar için. Şimdi oyunumuza başlayalım. Nerede kalmıştık? En son kapımızı açmıştık.
You're about to find the first TV at the gas station where we see Alan Wake raving like a lunatic. Cynthia Weaver actually talks about a similar thing later on in the game when she mentions that Thomas Zane has been talking to her from beyond and from television, and it's kind of a similar thing. Wake isn't aware of how it's happening, but that's what it is. We are thinking of Alan Wake as kind of a sum of three parts actually. Our writing, Ilkka Villis' face and body language, and Matthew Poretta's voice. And since we shot this stuff on video instead of producing it with our game engine, that's actually Alan Wake at his purest, you could say. And not coincidentally, it's also Alan Wake at his craziest.
Evet. Bir yere geri döndük. Şimdi devam edebiliriz. En son hatırlıyorsanız buraya gelmiştik. Kapıyı kısa devre yaptırmıştık. Ve açmıştık. Değişik, hızlı koşan ve kolay kolay ölmeyen bir hayretimiz vardı bu arada. Umarım ondan sürekli gelmez. Gerçekten sağlam mermi istiyor. Evet, sonunda benzin istasyonuna geldik.
I recognized the parade float I had seen in Bright Falls when I first arrived with Alice.
Ne güzel geyikmiş öyle ya. Sanırım burada geyik av sezonu tarzı bir şeyler var. Amerika'da biliyorsunuz böyle av mevsimleri var. Nasıl Türkiye'de balık av mevsimleri oluyorsa onlarda da dağ geyiği mevsimleri oluyor. Evet. Sonunda geldik buraya. Ama buraya gelmeden önce biraz sağ solu karıştırmak istiyorum. Nasıl olsa gireceğiz. Evet, buradan bakmıştık. Gözlere bak. Evet, devam edelim. Son okuduğumuz makalelerde yalnız benzin istasyonu için bir şeyler demişti.
I stepped into the gas station's garage. It was dark and quiet. The place was a mess. It looked like someone trashed the place or that there'd been some kind of fight. Light spilled into the room through an open door at the back, and I made my way toward it. Without any warning, I was blinded by a bright light. An old portable TV on the shelf had come alive by itself. Impossibly, I could see myself on the screen, talking like a madman.
Evet, bunu bir hatırlatmak istedim. Bir tek şunu bulamadık.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting, at least for a moment. The sane world reasserted itself.
Bu neydi be? Biraz çöpleri karıştıralım bakalım. Değişik bir ses var ama. En azından ışık. Işık da var. O ne? Bir sayfayı daha aldık.
Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling caught his attention. Stucky looked up and stared as his brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the unrelenting darkness engulfed him. The Deer Fest had been 2 weeks away when we arrived. If the day count on the banner was right, I was missing a whole week between the night we got here and now.
Bir hafta resmen kayıp. Bir haftamızı hatırlamıyoruz. En son araba var. İşimiz kaybolduğunda birdenbire göle atladığımızda birdenbire arabada uyanmamız zaten değişik gelmişti. Demek ki o arabaya doğru giden sürede bir haftamız bir şeyler yapmışız ama haberimiz yok. Evet. Kahve var gene. Termos. Biz önce içeri girelim.
I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
Evet. Şimdi şuraya bir girelim.
The garage was a mess. It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
Evet. Orada okuduğumuz şeye benziyor. Hadi bakalım. Evet, dediğin gibi darmaduman burası. Acaba yazılanlar gerçek olacak mı? Televizyon.
All right. I'll keep writing. Outside there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel a presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell a perfume in the room. I'll reach her, I'll fix her. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost.
I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
Evet, en azından aklını kaçırdığının farkında. Evet, en azından bir telefon bulabilirsek. Konu. Geyik 15-18 oyunlar ve faaliyetler, piyango biletleri, bal tutma yarışması, turta yarışması, sürpriz hediyeler, canlı müzik çocuklar için işlek halde, gizemli Montmori şaşırtıcı görsel şovu akşamları, Esenemi Geyik Festivali tören alayını sakın kaçırmayın. Festivaller güzeldir ya. Türkiye'de de var gerçekten güzel festivallerimiz. Telefonun sahibine ne oldu? Turist info. Evet. Yine aynı şey gidiyor. Tamam. Burada telefon var.
Rainbow Sheriff Station.
Oh. Onda şerif geldi. Bununla ilgili de bir not vardı.
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker, you are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
Listen.
We'll figure this out. Please get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay? Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
I realized I couldn't tell her what had happened in the forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
Aynı notta söylediği gibi. Evet. Ne oluyor? Burası adayı görüyorduk buradan. Ne olmuş oraya? Evet. Öyle bir aday var.
I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me.
İki sayfayı maalesef bulamadım.
I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice.
Yani olacakları söyleyen
She's
sayfalar.
missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at. But the cabin had disappeared.
Keşke etrafa bakabilseydim. Evet, sonuca çok odaklandım. 3 yıl önce.
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
We have two of these New York flashback scenes in the game, and actually we almost cut them out. And I'm very glad that we were able to keep them in because they are very important to the story that we're telling
Coffee's
here.
on.
These are the days when the Wakes were actually happy. And we spent so much of the game in danger and in darkness, running around with guns blazing. And also, when we see Wake and Alice together, most of the time they're arguing or at least not being very happy. But these are the days when they were both very, very happy together, and these are the days they long for. In the second flashback sequence, towards the end of the game, you can see the cracks there. They aren't really doing very well anymore. But right now, this one, it was good.
Böyle havalarda camın önüne oturup kahve veya bir çayla izlemeyi çok severim. Sıcacık ortamda. Maalesef reklamları her 3 dakikada bir alıyoruz. Maalesef. Taslak sayfa. Evet. Bak. Ani duruş bir
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now. My wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Bu bölüm acaba nasıl gidecek? Bakın daha önceki istatistiklerde kabusta maalesef bir sayfayı alamadık. Kayıp sayfa. O kadar dolaşmama rağmen. Elimde bayağı seri kitap yazmışız ya. Silah. Silah anlayamadım. Elimize anca alt patlar aldık. Yani öyle güzel silahlar alamadık. Evin içinde dolaşıyoruz ya. Elif'in yanına sonra da gideriz. Banyo güzel. Gözlük.
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather. We're now on the third day of the blizzard, and the weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
Güzelmiş. Yalnız burada perde yok. Yani karşıdan yatak odası rahat bir şekilde izlenebiliyor. Nasıl bir mantık anlayamadım. Alice, niye bizim perdemiz yok?
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Evet. Kapak resimlerini inceliyorum. Hangisi daha kötü acaba? Elimde değil. Sanırım eşimiz de bize yardım ediyor. şey yap ya. Evet arkadaşlar, sizce hangisi? 1 mi, 2 mi, 3 mü? 3'ü zaten kapalı. Çok ciddi olmuş. Üçüncüsü. İkincisi çok rahat. Hani birincisi daha iyiye benziyor. Sanırım en fazla bu kadar yapabiliriz. Gidelim bakalım. Kapılar açılmıyor.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan! Alan! Please check the fuse box.
Tamam.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Tamam. Korkma bu kadar.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Güzel bir aile. Kadın acaba niye hala yatmasını istedi ve onu kulübe gitmek için zorladı? Günümüz.
How do you feel, Mr. Wick? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wick, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wick, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me.
Teşekkür ederiz.
I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
İyi bir doktor. En azından artık insanların yanındayım ve gün doğmuş.
I believe you'll find the sheriff.
I'm sorry you had to
office.
cut your morning fishing short
Just
for this,
Go down
Doc.
the corridor. Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You're good to go, Mr. Wake. Sarah's probably waiting for a chance to talk to you.
Sağlam balık yakalamış. Erkan, görüyor musun Erkan? İşte balık bu.
The sheriff wanted to see you in her office.
Tamam, gideceğim, bir dakika. Haritaya bir bakalım. bir şey yazıyordur. Maalesef yazmıyor. Hadi gidelim. Karım nerede? Yine o kadın.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine. I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. Bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark. I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now. Very good. I'll come back later on to the night, just in case.
Dur.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor.
Alice was missing. I needed help to find her. I wasn't ready to leave.
Yes, you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Biraz sağa solu karıştırabilirim değil mi? Hemen engelledi ama o kadar.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Anladım. Gideceğim. Alt katta. Anlaşıldı.
Mulligan here. I'm at Stuckey's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the brake float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stuckey was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsal today. Over.
No, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stuckey. James out.
Adam ortalarda yok ve garaj dağılmış. Demek ki boğuşma olmuş. Ama biz gittiğimizde garaj öyleydi. Gene kahve. Oo, yine bir sayfa. Hadi bakalım.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Bize anahtarı veren o siyahlı kadın olabilir. Şu gazeteci kesin bir şeyler biliyor ya. Peşinden de gidemedik gazetecinin. Evet arkadaşlar, bölgemde maalesef internetin değerleri çok düşük olduğu için videolarımı düşük tutuyordum. Biraz daha videolarda biraz daha şey yaptıktan sonra, oynadıktan sonra kaliteyi düşürmeden de YouTube atabileceğimi gördüm. Bu denemelerden maalesef bazılarında ses eksik çıktı. Yani mikrofon sesiyle videonun sesini ayırıyormuşum bilmeden. Bilgisayarda bu ikisi tekli çıkıyor ama YouTube'a attığımda sadece oyunun sesini veriyor. Mikrofon sesini vermiyordu. Dediğim gibi bundan sonra böyle hatalarla karşılaşmayacağım ve oyun süresini de arttırıyorum. Böylece bölümler daha uzun olacak. Tamam, anladık. Sen orada neye bakıyorsun? Boş. Boş işte. Resim. O nasıl bir resim be? Domuza benziyor. Evet, merhaba dayı.
You should go see the sheriff now, Mr. Wake. She's in her office.
Kayıp Richard Bart, Bruce Dankası, Jacob Miller. Kamp seyahatine gittikleri o andan beri bir daha onları göremedik. Gören olursa veya nerede olduğunu bilen birileri varsa lütfen 555-9932'yi arasın. Teşekkürler. Zavallı. Görmedik bunları. Bunları görmedik. Adamı gören var mı? Kayıp. Tarih 6-20-07. Belgin özellikleri yarışma kazanmakta üstüne yoktur. Bir de kedi. Gündüz olduğunda sorun yok ama geceleyin bir şeyler oluyor bu kasabada.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Teşekkür ederim.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd locked me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need some fresh air. Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay. You can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Tamam çıkıyorum, bakma öyle. Polisleri atlat diyor. Ha bunu oku. Bunları okuduk zaten.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly.
In many small towns, life is peaceful and not that much happens that really requires police intervention. Such is the case with Bright Falls also. And the sheriff's station is really a friendly, almost cozy place.
Önce şu arkadaş konuşmasını bitirsin
The
gidelim.
jail cells are more often used to sober people up than holding anyone for a longer period of time.
Hey! Hey, you! Can you help me? Can you turn the lights on?
Açayım kardeş.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk after.
Ondan sonra zarar verdim.
Okay, listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. No. You wanna know who it really was?
Karanlıktan korktuğuna göre bir şeyler görmüş.
It was
Gölgede.
a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, wasn't drunk then.
Kafayı bulmuş. Taslak saçmasın.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power. The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, "Go through the fence on the left."
Gidelim de. Demek ki buraları biliyor.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. Had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their year's best boat. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? No point in getting all worked up yet.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
Terk edilmiş araba. Biraz bana izin verirseniz. O arabadan bahsediyor. Tamam. Lütfen bu şarkıda YouTube tarafından cezalandırılmasın ya. Tamam gidiyorum. Çok büyük önlemler almışlar yani. Ama tabii bunu şüpheli görmüyor belki de. Belki
The
aşikar
kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall in the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Karım nerede?
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Barry?
Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Sen buraya gerçekten en iyisin. Seni bıraktığına göre. Yani buradan da kaçabiliriz istersek de. Buradan çıkma. Ön kapıdan da çıkabilirim mesela. Ok beni buraya yönlendiriyor. Gidelim bakalım. Hadi bakalım. Sığmış.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Duman çıkıyor. Demek yazmaya devam ediyoruz. Karanlığa bırakmamak için.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey, come on!
Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Giyim zevkine bayıldım menajerin ya.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a
The visitor center is the hub of Elderwood National Park area. It's a place where you can get information about the local wildlife, directions if you are going out hiking in the forest, or keys if you are renting one of the cabins in the area. It also has a nice cafeteria which looks out into the forest. It's a bright and beautiful place to stop for a while and have a cup of coffee, but it's also filled with lots of stuffed animals and mammoth skeletons and so forth, so it's not really a place that you'd want to visit at night, which is what you will be doing.
You shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do
and
you
everything's just...
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Burada bekle. Evet. Bir sayfa falan da bulabiliriz böyle. Yumurtanın bir örnek ah reklam ah. Ağaçlandı. Dişlek Charlie bakalım karakter. Dişlek Charlie. Buranın maskotuymuş. O. Burası bayağı bir ayı. Çıkabiliyoruz ama çıkmadan önce orada bir kahvemiz var. Ya alayım da bu kahve termosunun ne işe yaradığını hala anlamıştım. Belki de kahve termosundan bahsetti. Ama kesinlikle bilmiyorum. Burası kilitli. Şu adamla konuşacağız.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You're at Cabot's.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is going to be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Böyle bir şey kapanmış ayağa.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Ben de olsam ben de inanır mıydım bilemiyorum.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know. I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
Oraya gideceğiz ha. Hadi bakalım.
You're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
Evet, biz gidiyoruz. Gidelim bakalım. Arabayı alacağız sanırım. Hadi gidelim Barry, hadi. Evet.
It's just crazy talk, Al. Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. And you're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Silahlı kuvvetler. Yok FBI işte. Cem Yılmaz gibi.
Just be careful with the
Uzaylılar
names, Al.
tarafından kaçırıldım.
These locals are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Çok yaşa.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth 15% commission.
Adam komisyonu yükseltmeye
You
çalışıyor.
want to know where you can shove that flashlight?
Lock the door when I leave.
Yep, you go ahead and do what you have to do. I'll be fine. Alone, but fine. And a
Evet
cabin straight from a
arkadaşlar.
horror movie.
Gamer Ömer kanalından da bugünlük bu kadar. Bakalım bundan sonra neler yaşanacak. Kendinize iyi bakın ve hoşça kalın.